The relationship between African cocoa producers, particularly countries in West Africa like Ivory Coast and Ghana, and chocolate manufacturers has been marked by complex and long-standing issues. These issues primarily revolve around fair pricing, sustainability, and social responsibility within the cocoa supply chain. Here are some key aspects of this ongoing challenge. 1. Cocoa pricing and fairness. One of the central issues is the price paid to cocoa farmers. Cocoa farmers in West Africa often face low incomes due to low commodity prices, despite cocoa being a major export crop for their countries. They receive a relatively small share of the final retail price of chocolate products, leading to concerns about fair compensation. 2. Income inequality. The cocoa supply chain is characterized by significant income inequality, with farmers receiving only a fraction of the revenue generated by the chocolate industry. Many cocoa farmers live in poverty, lacking access to education, healthcare, and basic infrastructure. 3. Child labor and exploitation. There have been persistent reports of child labor and child exploitation in cocoa farming, including hazardous work conditions and lack of access to education. This issue has attracted international attention and led to demands for more stringent labor standards and child labor eradication efforts. 4. Deforestation and environmental concerns. Cocoa production has contributed to deforestation in some cocoa-growing regions. Clearing land for cocoa cultivation has led to environmental degradation and loss of biodiversity. Sustainable and responsible cocoa farming practices are needed to address these concerns. 5. Certification and premiums. Various certification schemes, such as Fair Trade and Rainforest Alliance, aim to address social and environmental issues in cocoa production. These programs offer price premiums to farmers who meet certain standards. However, the effectiveness and impact of such certifications have been a subject of debate. 6. Government interventions. Some cocoa-producing countries have taken steps to address these issues through government interventions. For example, Ghana and Ivory Coast have introduced minimum pricing schemes to ensure that farmers receive a fairer share of cocoa revenues. 7. Collaborative initiatives. There have been collaborative efforts involving governments, chocolate manufacturers, and non-governmental organizations to address the challenges in the cocoa supply chain. These initiatives often focus on improving farmer livelihoods, promoting sustainable farming practices, and eliminating child labor. 8. Consumer awareness and pressure. Increased consumer awareness of these issues has put pressure on chocolate manufacturers to source cocoa responsibly and address social and environmental concerns. Many consumers now look for ethically sourced and sustainable chocolate products. 9. Transparency and traceability. Efforts to improve transparency and traceability in the cocoa supply chain have gained momentum. Blockchain technology and other traceability systems are being used to track the origin of cocoa beans and ensure they are sourced responsibly. 10. Regulatory measures. Some countries, particularly in Europe, have been considering or implementing legislation that would require companies to demonstrate due diligence in their cocoa supply chains to prevent child labor and deforestation. Addressing these issues requires a multi-stakeholder approach, involving cocoa-producing governments, chocolate manufacturers, civil society organizations, and consumers. The aim is to create a more equitable and sustainable cocoa supply chain that benefits both farmers and the industry while minimizing negative social and environmental impacts. The ongoing efforts to address these challenges demonstrate the complexity and importance of the relationship between African cocoa producers and chocolate manufacturers.